To say all praises to the Most High, His begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Now we're gonna get into what big tech companies are doing and the steps that they're gonna be taking to get that chip in your arm or forehead, man. We're just gonna forward a bit here. We'll just play a bit just to get the gist of the
Despite all
video.
our best efforts, they're very hard to kill off, and companies have been trying to do it for years.
The average office worker in the United States must keep track of between 20 to 40 different username and password combinations. With so many passwords to remember, it's no wonder why many of us use the same ones over and over, or have a running list of passwords saved somewhere on our computers, phones, or notebooks. Passwords are a very serious and expensive security risk. It's why companies like Microsoft, Apple, and Google are trying to reduce our dependence on them. But the question is, can these companies break our bad habits? Drawing money from an ATM. First, you insert your bank card, something that you possess, and then you are asked for a PIN, something that you know. Biometrics are the newest form of authentication and have risen in popularity thanks to smartphones that include fingerprint readers and face scanning cameras. Meanwhile, digital assistants like Siri, Alexa, and Google Assistant have advanced voice recognition technologies. In fact, a number of banks, including Chase and Barclays, now allow their customers to verify their identity using voice biometrics. When customers call in, their voice is automatically matched to a previously recorded voice print that's made up of more than 100 characteristics such as pitch, accent, and shape of your mouth.
So got your voice now.
Pro 4. I don't know if you noticed what happened. It recognized that I was just standing in front of the computer and it logged me in. And this is the power of Windows Hello, where it does the face recognition and logs you right in. I mean, think about one of the biggest issues of security is passwords. So one of the things that we are working on is a world where passwords are not going to be the ones that get hacked, but you really have other biometrics that really help us secure our computing interfaces.
Microsoft sees 6.5 trillion hacking
Even the
incidents per
elders
year.
got Oros lead
That's
to
why
the chip.
90% of its employees can now log into the corporate network without a password.
We are on a mission to be passwordless, and we've built passwordless
Funny
technology
looking
into the OS. And we tell customers, of course, that it's much more secure than actual passwords, because about 70% of phishing attacks today still are caused by stolen passwords. So what we recommend is that customers use biometrics. At Microsoft, we use Windows Hello for Business. I
She should
look
be
at
at
my
home
computer
cooking,
to log
man.
on in the morning. That's how I authenticate. If I'm on my phone, I'm using my thumbprint. We don't see our passwords
Out
anymore,
here trying
because
to
that
steal
is the
people's
user
DLs.
and the password are the weakest link in your security system.
Microsoft introduced Windows Hello to customers in 2015, with its devices running Windows 10. Windows Hello allowed users to ditch the password and log into their devices with just their face, fingerprint, or PIN. Like Fido, Microsoft has said it stores user information since it came out with Touch ID on the iPhone 5S back in 2013. The company called Touch ID the gold standard for consumer device biometric protection,
Yeah, just
until it
collecting
introduced Face
your
ID
data
on the
now.
iPhone 10 in 2017.
And the data for Touch ID has been 1 in 50,000, meaning that the chance that a random person could use their fingerprint to unlock your iPhone has been about 1 in 50,000, and it's been great. So what are the similar statistics for Face ID? 1 in a million.
Back in 2016, Apple also introduced Auto Unlock, a feature for macOS.
Today, when you first approach your Mac to use it, the experience is something like this. You open it up, you're confronted with a password field, and then you type, and then maybe mistype, and then retype your password, and then you're in and using your Mac. But for many of us, we already have a device securely authenticated to our wrists that already knows who we are and could tell our Mac. And so then, when we open our Mac, it could be a little bit more like this.
In its guidelines to app developers, Apple stresses that apps should support biometric authentication whenever possible, and that apps should only ask for a username and password as a fallback if the first method fails. Google has also been working to make passwords a thing of the past. The company has required its employees to use physical security keys since early 2017, and has seen a huge reduction in phishing. In August of 2018, the company released Titan to consumers. Titan is a physical key that allows users to take advantage of two-factor authentication on their computers or smartphones.
What do you think? What's
In
next?
2019, Google announced that phones running Android 7 would all come with a built-in security key using Bluetooth. A few months later, Google extended that function to iOS devices, meaning that iPhone and iPad users could now use their secondary Android smartphones.
And what they're gonna do, they're gonna extend it again. Gonna go into this why big tech is getting into
And
finance.
Google has plans to offer checking accounts to users of its digital wallet.
They're gonna
in 2020.
centralize everything
You
because
can
they
do
already
a
have
lot
the
with the wallet on your
information.
phone,
They just
like
need to
boarding a train
centralize it
or-
at this point.
So
Look.
tech firms are offering services that are usually associated with banks, but they're doing it differently.
It's really about data. When a company like Apple or Google processes a payment for you, they find out a lot about you. They know what you bought, where you bought it, what time of the day or what day of the month you're likely to spend money, and that's really valuable information for advertisers.
Also, banking is another way for tech firms to draw customers further into their universes.
So Facebook started out as a way to
Once
talk
you're
to your
there, you can't
friends,
leave.
and then became a place you shared baby photos with your grandparents, and now you can shop on Facebook properties, you can message, Instagram, WhatsApp. Amazon is the same way. It started out as a big store, and now they make home speakers, they make original movies and television shows.
Now
So these
they're
companies
spying
all
on you.
started off with one thing, and they're adding more things around it, and finance is kind of the last frontier.
As more people change their banking habits, tech companies say they can bring something to the table. Google says it will build helpful tools while relying on partnerships to navigate the financial world. For its part, Apple promises to eliminate fees for its credit card and give you cash back instantly. And the Apple Pay app will have charts that help users track their buying habits. Meanwhile, the Facebook-backed Libra Association says that using a blockchain to process transactions could make cross-border payments cheaper and faster. The company says its planned cryptocurrency, Libra, could provide banking services for billions of people. That plan has faced headwinds. Several early partners dropped from the project. And US Fed Chairman Jerome Powell raised concerns with the plan, saying that Facebook's size could make Libra immediately systemically important. That size is on display in the other services too. According to projections from Juniper Research, Google Pay is on track to have 100 million users worldwide in 2020. By that time, Apple Pay could have 227 million users. Both would be huge increases from 2018.
These tech companies are already really big, and some regulators think too big. Several US regulatory bodies already have antitrust investigations into Google, Apple, Facebook, and other big companies.
Their push into banking could sharpen those concerns. And public trust is an issue too. A poll from McKinsey & Company suggests that a slight majority of respondents would trust Google and Apple to handle their finances, but Facebook fared less well.
Some people are already wary of giving
Because
tech companies
I
access
already
to
know what
location
Facebook is
and
about.
photos, financial data.
Pretty clear that they've been selling your info for a while now.
Concerns over privacy and power will be on display as tech firms get into finance. The data are valuable, and increasingly, they're in the hands of
Imagine
big
leaving
tech
your
companies.
keys with a thief. These people are funny, man.
Have sprung up to connect freelance hackers with corporations that offer bug bounty programs. This has led to the creation of a geographically dispersed network of cybersecurity experts, aka hackers, who are integral to the safety of corporations in every industry, from tech to finance to national defense.
We work with MasterCard, we work with Fiat Chrysler in the automotive space, we work with Cisco in the engineering, IT, technology space, Department of Defense, Pinterest.
These days, hackers can make a lot of money identifying security flaws for companies like these. The payout for finding a single, highly critical vulnerability can be tens of thousands of dollars, and some companies have paid out millions overall.
I know Verizon Digital Media actually just passed $7 million in bounties paid. Uber has paid out over $2 million.
Hacking for good is gaining traction, and there's big money at stake.
Hacking for
So it
good.
may be time for the public to rethink its conception of what
He's
being a
always
hacker
doing bad
really
things for
means.
good. Stealing for good. Exploiting people for good. Enslaving people for good.
Ever since computers have existed, people have been trying to break into them. Back when these machines were clunky novelties found only in universities and large corporations, hackers were commonly seen as tinkerers, technology enthusiasts who liked exploring and altering existing computer programs. They made improvements that helped move the industry forward. But with the emergence of the personal computer in the 1980s, cybercrimes became much more common.
We're just gonna
From the
leave it
comfort
there.
of their
Well, the whole point of all of this is they're always pushing that agenda. Ultimately, they're going to say the only way to be secure is to have that chip in your arm that verifies everything you do and allows you to go into work. It'll probably be programmable where you can get into your place of work and all this other stuff. But it's all slowly heading towards being centralized under, one big institution, whatever that institution may be. Like even the elder says the spirit. You got it right here. All roads lead to the chip, man. I'm just gonna finish up this lesson with a scripture. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that hath the chip, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Revelation 13:16. All praises to the Most High Yahweh, and it's begun Son Yahweh Shai.